out of time? That means he's had enough. Goodbye. Thank you. I want you to report on
But
this.
you said it's guns. You said it's guns on the street that's causing this problem. Are you concerned that the DOJ's funding cuts to gun violence prevention programs undermine the effort?
Stop it. We are putting all kinds of resources onto the street.
But what about the gun aspect of the gun violence?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
What is the full press conference taking place here? What's
Emergency Economic Powers Act, also known as IEPA, IEEPA. Jimmy Cherizier is also known as Barbecue. Do we have his picture here?
She's talking about all the big bads.
He is a notorious gang leader from Haiti who has orchestrated and committed various acts of violence against Haitians in Haiti.
Seriously, who is this? This is the it was the prosecutor, the U.S. attorney for D.C., who was appointed by Trump. She was a television host, a television judge on Fox News. And because Trump likes Fox News, you know, he watches it and he goes like, hey, he chose her to be the attorney for DC.
He was sanctioned in 2020 by the United States government under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act. And that is an act that has to do with the president having the authority to sanction globally anyone who was involved in human rights abuses. Now, Cherizier is also known as Barbecue, and his indictment is the first indictment of an
She's also a notorious drunk. Yes.
individual in
fugitives. We've arrested over 19,000 criminals, and we've seized thousands. Also,
a barbaric warlord who used our nation's resources to commit acts of violence and terror. I'd like to extend my most heartfelt thanks to our federal law enforcement partners at the FBI, the DEA, the ATF.
This is a press conference about DC crime. Why are they talking about Haiti and the cartels?
The Department of State.
one of these shootings was with an illegal member, so the crime is down.
Oh my God.
And that we don't need.
Okay.
No, hold on a second.
Yeah, get the black guys up there.
Give him that one if he wants to look at that. Put that over there. Can you help Sloan?
Oh, no scary black guys. No. These are the people who have been shot and killed. That's not meant to be a scary baby. These are meant to be sympathetic black people.
There's been a great deal of discussion about crime in the district. And the other day, I wanted to get a sense of what is actually happening in the District of Columbia. I asked for the number of teens who have been shot and killed by gunfire. Teens, everyone under the age of 20. As you can see, in 2024, we have, I believe I said it was, how many? Yeah. As you can see, in 2024, we have 29 individuals who were shot and killed in the district, all teens, some as young as 3 years of age, okay, because of gunfire. Some of these cases are solved, some of them are not solved. But what this makes clear to me is that there is a whole community that is suffering because of the violent crime in this district. And anyone who wants to tell me the crime is down and that we don't need an emergency focus on crimes of violence, all they need to do is take a look at this and talk to the loved ones and the family members of these individuals, all shot and killed long before their
I'm gonna fucking lower the volume a little bit more. Jesus Christ.
time. Now, over here are the individuals who were shot and killed under the age of 20, all teenagers in 2025. And the number here is 16. Again, all members of the minority community here.
Oh. It's especially this guy right here, Jamar Jackson. God damn. No one's taken his card.
I don't know how many of these cases have been solved, but what I can tell you is, again, it's guns on the streets. It's individuals who are not concerned about accountability, who don't have any reason to fear law enforcement. I am here today to tell you that on behalf of all of these victims, all of these families, that they're going to be accountable, that we are going to make a difference, and that we are going to make sure that law enforcement is focused on these innocent, now silent victims of crime in the district. All I know is we rank in deaths. 2 years ago, we were one of the fourth highest. We were the fourth highest in the United States.
This has to suck so fucking much, man. You have a cushy job as a Fox News television judge. You can just coast on that for years and years, literally like a decade. You know, you figure you're going to retire, and then Trump makes you an offer you basically can't refuse because it would look bad if you did, you know, be the federal prosecutor for DC. And now you have an actual job and you have to deal with press conferences where smelly members of the, of the press ask you probing questions like, why are you making all of this worse?
I don't need any more statistics. All I need are people to recognize that these were vibrant human beings cut down because of illegal guns. I guarantee you that every one of these shootings was with an illegal gun. All right? And I guarantee you that every one of these individuals was shot and killed by someone who felt that they were never going to be caught. And I want to send a message that we are going to catch you, that we are going to change the laws, that if you're 14, 15, 16, 17, we're going to bring you into the justice system. No more of this DC, council, if they're under 16 or if they're under 19 or if they're under 25, we'll give them probation. No more. I'm done with that. Okay. Those are great questions. Number one, the DC Crime Lab is now accredited and validated very recently. So Dr. Diaz has communicated that to us, and we are working with the DC Crime Lab. Our concern is making sure that we have enough.
I thought all guns were legal in America. You guys need to better familiarize yourselves with the kinds of racism the right engages in. The obsession with guns being marked as illegal is how they continue to appeal to their broadly pro-gun crowd, while still racializing and otherizing victims of gun crime and the perpetrators of that gun crime. There are plenty of legal firearms used in murders in the United States, but when they talk about firearms, like in the context of cracking down on crime, they don't want to come across like they're cracking down on gun ownership. So they have to pretend like, yeah, their guns, the black people's guns, those ones are all unregistered, those ones are illegal. The guns that you own, Mr. White Man, those are legal, so we're not talking about those. Like, the crime here is shooting and killing a person, right? Like, the crime here isn't illegal ownership of a firearm. I feel like that's kind of if you've murdered somebody, the legality of your firearm is, to me at least personally, kind of a side note to the larger crime of killing a person.
Enough people who are able to analyze the DNA and all of the testing that we need to have done. That's number one. Number two, as it relates to prosecution, I have been very clear that Title 16 is not enough. Under Title 16, if you are 16 or 17 years of age, we can get you for rape 1, murder, robbery 1, burglary 1, but if you shoot someone and don't kill them, I don't have jurisdiction. It goes to the Attorney General, the State Attorney General, Brian Schwab, and the focus is family court rehabilitation. Now, I was a family court judge in New York for a short period of time. The mission there is not punishment, it's rehabilitation, as evidenced by, do we have those posters? Yeah, we had a poster with a, what you get is yoga, and you get ice cream socials in family court. Well, I'm done with yoga and ice cream socials. We've got to change the law to bring them into the justice system. We've got to get rid of the 3 statutes or 3 laws passed by the D.C. Council. Number 1 is the Youth Rehabilitation Act, where you basically say, with the Youth Rehabilitation Act...
She's saying 16-year-old black man so hard. She's saying 14-year-old black man, actually. Let's not strip her of her racist credits here. It's 14-year-old black man.
Act that what we're going to do is we're going to say, if you're sentenced and you're under the age of 25, that the judge can give you probation irrespective of what the crime is. That's nonsense. And that's why a judge, and you're tired of hearing about me say this, that's why a judge gave a 19-year-old 2-3 weeks ago, and I wrote an op-ed piece, gave a 19-year-old probation, and I understand it's 2 years probation to go to college with no mandate, for getting on a public bus with an illegal gun, shooting an individual in the chest, which to me is intent to kill. And he walked away, after we convicted him, he walked away with no jail time. If that's what you want in this district, then I'm the wrong person to be United States Attorney.
She's not actually entirely wrong on this. A lot of more progressive, like local prosecutorial teams seem to have taken kind of a revolving door approach to, like, so often you will hear, like, guy murders another guy downtown. Person arrested has 54 previous arrests or whatever. And ultimately the issue is, like, a lot of people are just socially non-functioning and very mentally ill, and they just get cycled in and out of the system, and there's barely any space to hold them anyway, so they just get turned back out. You basically have like an Arkham Asylum issue for a lot of them. It's just a fucking revolving door. These people just in and out and in and out and in and out constantly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, again, it's like what I said earlier about how liberals have really opened the door up to fascists by making cities wretched and disgusting, by not dealing with homelessness and treating it like a social problem. Every city eventually ends up disgusting, and because it's disgusting, people go like, oh my fucking god, we need like law and order, we need a crackdown. It's like this as well. Life sentence sounds like the solution. Yeah, there are absolutely some people who should just spend the rest of their lives in prison. I was like, you keep appraised of the like major arrests in a city. It will not be very long at all before you find somebody who has been arrested like 100 times and is just constantly violent and belligerent like every time. These people are not socially functional, you know. But we are creating more and more of these people by persisting in letting our systems function the way they do. Like, we're creating a breeding ground for that kind of behavior, that antisocial behavior.
1, the Incarceration Reduction Act. The Incarceration Reduction Act that the D.C. left-leaning council passed says if you're 25 years old and you were sentenced to 15 years as a young kid for probably murder, even a serial murderer, we can let you out if you're 25. We can let you out because, not because you're rehabilitated, not because the offense wasn't that bad, but because we can. And that's got to go. All right? And the third thing is record sealing. I go through all of the effort to get a conviction, and they want to seal the convictions. They want to say, we want to seal convictions after 5 years. If I'm a mother, and thank God my kids are older, if I'm a mother, I want to know if a nanny has an assault conviction. If I'm an employer, I want to know if this person has been convicted of larceny or petty larceny. Or if, say, I'm not in a public school, but I got a private, like, teaching a tennis group. I need to know if this guy's a predator, a pedophile.
So here, I guess, is where you get the schism, because what she's describing right now would create more of problem number 1. If people have permanently unsealed criminal records, it would make it very difficult for many of them to get hired, meaning that they would have to return to a life of crime after getting out of prison. Like, this is the problem, right? This is the balance between punitive justice and rehabilitation, where like you can go, oh well, we need to get these serial criminals in prison. I agree. Sure, yeah. If a guy has like stabbed 17 people over the course of 10 years, I think he should just spend the rest of his life in prison. I don't know. I feel like he can't be trusted out in society. But if a person's only gone to jail for like one assault, like he got in a bar fight and spent 2 years because he like knocked somebody else out, that's bad. But okay, so he's out now. And now you want felony battery on his record forever? Like he's 46 years old. It's been 20 years and he still has that there? Well, how the fuck is he going to get a job? It's going to permanently affect his life in a way that makes it more likely for him to engage in recidivism. You're creating the problem again.
Everything about the DC Council's focus is defendant-oriented. I'm oriented to these people, and the people of the district are as well.
Do you have any special powers under this federal takeover that you can, you talked about a little bit, well, you talked a lot about it, but any special...
I don't have any special powers. I wish I did.
But can you talk about where you stand on hiring prosecutors and judges?
I am, you know, I'm not going to bore you with the facts. Don't quote me on that. That was off the record. I can only hire during certain periods once there's been an ad or some kind of posting, and then I can hire. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing the best I can. The president has given me the permission to hire. This is an office that has been neglected. And I'll say it publicly. It's been neglected. With people signing contracts, they didn't know what they were signing.
Vaush, don't forget she keeps poisoning the well with her rhetoric. Well, yeah, no shit. She's an alcoholic fascist working for a pedophile. We're not apologizing for her rhetoric. It is a broader issue, though. You know?
All right, it just kind of ran on its own. Not anymore. This is an office where nobody seemed to care that we were down 90 lawyers, 60 investigators, and paralegals. I do. And so my effort is to get people who want to work in the nation's capital, who want to work in the largest United States Attorney's office in the country, and the best office. Because we're not just federal prosecutors, we're local prosecutors. We get down and dirty in street crime. And that is what really motivates a lot of my prosecutors.
Yeah.
My job is to try to heal the victims and prosecute the criminal. Everybody else can deal with rehabilitating the individual. I honestly am not concerned about why they commit crimes. My concern is if they commit crimes.
Yeah, there you go, I guess. I mean, that's kind of the mentality right there.
My concern is the victims of the crimes. That's my job as a U.S. attorney. Go ahead. As recently as yesterday, I spoke with the president, and I have spoken to the president before about these vacancies. The president wants these vacancies filled as soon as possible because, like everyone in this room, it's common sense. It's not fair to the victims, to the families. It's not fair to the defendant. Why should the defendant who's charged with a crime have to live with a case for 3 years because there's not enough judges? We're all on the same page about what makes sense and what's fair. And so
it's kind of the way it always happens, right? Like fascists taking over the crumbling remnants of an ineffective and out of touch establishment order. You know, they can point, it happened with Italy and the Weimar Republic. There's like a million obvious problems with the way we do things now. And it's so easy to point at those problems and use them as a justification for any solution. You know, you can throw any old thing out there. It doesn't matter. People will freak the fuck out over it. I don't know. Just interesting.